Hey man, say man, it's your boy KJ, the host of the broadcast podcast SL Sports Language, giving you the livest, latest news information on sports and events. And listen, I'll put it to you like this. If you got an opinion on what I say, you can debate me about it. If you disagree on what I say, you can debate me about it. Hold on, y'all. Y'all know the motto. If you don't like what I say, debate me about it! Speaking of debate me about it, put it in the comment section. Hold on, the comment section. Like, comment, subscribe. I repeat, like, comment, subscribe. So you can get your latest news and information on sports and events from your boy KJ, the host of the broadcast podcast SL Sports Language. Now here we go. Listen, y'all. The Miami Dolphins are the worst organization. The Miami Dolphins are the worst organization in the NFL. The Miami Dolphins 2-6. The Miami Dolphins has one of the worst quarterbacks right now in their franchise history, which is Tua Tagovailoa. Mike McDaniel's job is on the line. Tyreek Hill, they're saying he might retire allegedly. He's injured, but when he got off the field, he was But on one hand, people are saying, well, he was just trying to stay in good spirits. Then on the other hand, I'm seeing from reliable sources and reliable networks saying that he was just doing that because he's happy because y'all still got to pay him and he gets to be home while y'all still got to pay him. Listen, y'all, we're going to talk about the facts. Then we're going to talk about the opinions. After this video, if y'all want to call me a Dolphins hater, call me a Dolphins hater. If y'all want to call me, okay, Jay, you just doing the most, you can say that. But y'all know how I do. I give you facts, then my opinions. The facts is the truth. Like it or not, the facts is the truth. Now, my opinions is my opinions. If you don't like it, you can debate me about it. If you disagree, we can debate me about it. So let's start with the facts. The Dolphins are 2-6. You seen what they lost against, how they lost against the Colts. You seen how they lost against the Patriots. You seen how they lost against the Bills. Close games, by the way. They won against the Jets, but by the skin of their teeth, in my opinion. The Cleveland Browns game, terrible. That was one of the worst blowouts I ever seen. A 1-5 team going against a 1-5 team. That was like the doo-doo bowl, the boo-boo bowl, the bowl against two of the trashiest teams. Who's gonna win out of these horrible teams? That was like a trash bowl. That's what we call them. If you a sports head, you know. Then you lose against the Chargers. I forgot the other team you lost, and then you win against the Falcons. People saying, oh, he might have saved his job. We talking about Tua, by the way. No, he did not, because a win is a win, yes, but a losing season is a losing season. Let's talk about facts. Tua Tagovailoa got drafted into the NFL coming off of a hip injury, so he was already, quote unquote, some may say, broken goods. But then Tua Tagovailoa changed it around just a teeny weeny little bit in one of the seasons. I don't know if it was the 2021 season, I don't know if the 22 season, maybe the 23 season. He goes to the they make it to the playoffs. This is like Tyreek Hill first season as a Dolphin, or second season, and they lose against Tyreek Hill's old team against the Chiefs, and their excuse was possibly because of the weather, or the fans made that excuse for them, right? And then everybody was like, man, it's gonna be a better season. Then the year after, we seen Tua Tagovailoa injury prone, and it wasn't necessarily his fault. Some may say it was the offensive line, and then some may say because he be trying to do the most, and that's when he had concussions. So that's when people was like, bro, you need to let it go, bro, you just need to retire. Now, this season, horrible season by Tua Tagovailoa. You throw at least 2 picks every game, 3 picks against the Cleveland Browns. Just horrible. You got benched against the Cleveland Browns game. The other backup from Texas, Euler or something like that, he comes in. He's just as worse possibly. He's okay, but guess what? Throughout the past season, everybody was like, bro, we got the quarterback, so what if he's short and stocky? We seen what he did in Alabama. We seen what he did under Nick Saban. We can see what he can do under Mike McDaniel after they fired that pass coach, who now he's looking like a genius. He's looking like he was right all along. That pass coach, who was a black man, by the way, forgot his name. Y'all know who he is. Y'all can put it in the comment section. In the past season, everybody was saying, oh, we just need a good offensive team. Our defense need to get better. Oh, we just need targets, because I think that's when we had like Devontae Parker, if I'm not mistaken, and that was pretty much it. But then guess what? We get Tyreek Hill in the free agency. We get Jalen Waddle. We have Davon Achante, which I just heard of him this season. I think he just came this season. I could be wrong. You have all the puzzles offensively. You got you a nice little running back who can get yards, who's fast, who's quick with it. You got you Jalen Waddle, catch the ball, slant. You got you a Tyreek Hill, who's a deep threat. And he's a threat in terms of slants. And once he get the ball, he's a cheater for a reason. Phew, open field, he gets that tiny window, he's gone. And you start the season off 0-3, 1-5, 2-6. But let's not even just focus on that. The reason why I say the Miami Dolphins are the worst organization in the NFL right now is because the media scrutiny. See, and I'm gonna make a comparison right just as of now, and then we're gonna go back to why I make that comparison. So I compare this organization as close, probably low-key as worse as the Cleveland Browns. The Cleveland Browns are known to be consistent year after year losers, right? The Cleveland Browns hasn't been the same since the 80s, 70s. They haven't been the same since the Paul Brown era, if you know your history. Paul Brown's the legendary coach who the Cleveland organization named the Browns after. And so we know the Cleveland Browns, if they make it to the playoffs, it's like, whoa. But if they lose year after year, the only people that really care about it are the Browns fans. That's it. The Browns aren't known to make key free agent signings. The Browns fans aren't known to make historic playoff runs in the past, probably since before I was born. They trash, bro. Throughout my life, if I have kids, probably throughout their lifespan, they're just a horrible organization in terms of winning. Scrutiny-wise, not that bad. I haven't heard players do horrible things off the field as much besides a DUI ticket. But that's besides the point. And we're going to get back to why I compare them just as much as the Browns, or close to them being a losing organization. Like now, in recent years, you can look at the Dolphins just as a losing organization as the Browns. But we're going to get back to that. Just hold that thought. The Miami Dolphins organization is the worst organization as of right now in the NFL because the media scrutiny. Losing is losing, but it's horrible when you lose and have media attention to it, like the New York Knicks used to be. When you're losing bad, right? But you have your star quarterback in the press conference saying, "Oh man, it's the guys, man. They're not showing up to meetings. They're not showing up to players only meetings. They're coming in late. It's this organization. It's the lack of organization. It's the lack of leadership." Wait a minute. Tua, who's you talking about? We still on the factual side of this video, by the way. Who's you talking about? Is you talking about Mike McDaniel? Is you talking about Tyreek Hill? Is you talking about other players? Who is you talking about? And the ballot is still on that. And then you come back with an apology, but you wouldn't even back it up with a win. If you're going to say all that, lead the team to wins. If you're going to say all that, do better with your offensive play. If you're going to say all that, back it up with MVP, multi-million-dollar, the contract that you signed for, type of performance. It's one thing if we see you trying your best. It's one thing if we see you trying your hardest. It's one thing if there's been previous years, if you guys been making nearly playoff appearances or back-to-back quote-unquote winning seasons, but you guys haven't got over the hump. You can say that if you've been, like I said, playing your heart out and the team just not that good. Whether you have a weak O-line, whether your wide receivers aren't doing good, whether if you're trying to win and you trying to do your part. But dude, you throw 2 interceptions at least every game. I think that's the most a quarterback has done in history. I think you set the record for that, Tua, but in the worst way. You've thrown 2 interceptions at least per or every game. 3 interceptions against the Browns. So now it's at a point, every time you throw the ball, it's like we expect an interception. Like a Jameis Winston. And for you to say all that in a press conference when you haven't been putting on your A game, you haven't been doing your part to lead this team to wins. When you've been trash. Throwing ability, trash. Effort, trash. Just overall trash. And then, for you to say all that, when y'all know y'all losing, bro, you keep that in-house. No matter if you winning or you losing. It's one thing to lose real bad, but it's another thing to throw your team under the bus. You don't do that. I can't stand players that do that. That just rubs me the wrong way. It makes my blood boil. You don't do that. Now, guess what? Now your team just gonna give up on you. They gonna try their hardest for the paycheck, but low-key, I'm not gonna run as hard. I'm not gonna go hard on these routes, whatever. If the ball comes to me, whatever, because he gonna throw me under the bus anyway. Nothing too good for a Tua. And even if Tua is speaking the truth, you giving the media, you giving other teams, you giving all your enemies and people that you don't like talking about you, which just goes back to the media, because let's be honest, some of these players don't like talking to the media. You're giving them more headlines, more stories, more now you're giving them more intel that they can use for their media to scrutinize not only you but your team. Now they're gonna say, oh, maybe they should fire the coach, or maybe they should trade this player. Oh man, no wonder the team is horrible. Their quarterback just said they're not showing up to meetings and he's trash, so why is he even talking? Bro, you let the media figure that out. You don't do that. You don't throw your team under the bus. That's like breaking the guy code, the bro code. You talk to your team in public. You say, hey, listen, man, I gotta do better. Whatever that is, I gotta do better on that. Whether we practice more, me and my wide receivers gotta be on the same level, you know what I mean? Headspace, you know what I mean? Practice after the practice, and we gotta, go back to the drawing board. That's like the typical answer, whether you mean it or not. Go back to the drawing board. Go back to the depth chart. You don't say, is guys not showing up to the meeting? Is guys not showing up to the players meeting? Is guys not being held accountable? It's like there's no leadership in this organization. Dude, you don't do that. You say that in closed doors. You tell it to the GM. You tell it to the players. You tell it to the head coach, like, bro, we got to get this together. And you ain't got to do it in a salacious way where you're trying to get somebody fired or traded. You do it in a way where it's like, bro, something got to change. And if it's me, cool. But something got to change. Because I'm trying my best, even though, I'm throwing picks and I got to do better. But this guy's not showing up. This guy's not showing up. And then, what's not making it any better, bro, that's why the Tua, if you watch this Tua, and I hope you watch this Tua Tagovailoa, and the fans who rooted for him coming out of college. I even had hope for him, so I'm not even gonna do y'all like that. I had hopes for Tua. I'm not a Dolphins fan, it's Steelers all day, but I had hope for Tua coming out of Alabama. But that's besides the point. When Tua, got drafted, the only thing that was worried about was him coming into the league with an injury. And now, ever since this abysmal of a season, this clown circus show of a season in terms of media scrutiny, people now are dissecting Tua wasn't a good quarterback to begin with. He's short, he got little arms, and he needs a good coach to make him look good. And here's what I say. When it comes to being short, is that a disadvantage? Yes. But I'm pretty sure there's short quarterbacks that made their way. Russell Wilson, Super Bowl champion, 2 Super Bowl appearances. Kyler Murphy's doing okay. Or Murray. Who's a short quarterback? Michael Vick wasn't that tall either. So I don't know where the height comes in at. Does it play a role? Yes. Is it really made? There's been tall quarterbacks that became busts. The only tall quarterback that I know that was putting in work was Cam Newton. That's it. But y'all can have your opinions. Now, when it comes to other elements, small arms possibly could have an effect on why he's not that good on the NFL level. Right? And then the last part, and I got this from LaShawn McCoy. Check out his podcast with old boy. LaShawn McCoy had said he always needed good coaches to make him look good, I had to stop it. Wait a minute. Maybe he's right. Nick Saban, who's arguably one of, if not the greatest college football head coaches of all time, turned Alabama to Title Town. Hey, he making him look good because of the plays that he giving Tua that's making it easier for him. Now, you can't take that away from Tua because Tua still had to put those plays into life and put it into effect on the field. Got it. Mike McDaniel, but before Mike McDaniel, they fired old boy, the other coach. And Mike McDaniel, and the dude before Mike McDaniel was throwing out hints like, it's not me, it's the organization. And the quarterback not really that good anyway. Now you got Mike McDaniel. Mike McDaniel comes in with his charm, young, cool, fly guy, the new wave of the head coaches. Seasons in, the Dolphins are still struggling, but One year they almost make it to the playoffs, but I think they almost make it to the wild card, but they had to beat the Bills, something like that. And then it was that year that they make it to the playoffs with Mike McDaniels and play against the Chiefs, but they lose. But there's high hopes. You got Mike McDaniels, this young coach. Tua Tagovailoa, he's coming into effect. And then we just need more key pieces behind Tyreek Hill, and boom, we should take off like a rocket. The Dolphins are going to be prime Dolphins again, like Dan Marino. And now here we are. Trash. Or here they are. Trash. And it's just really a shame, because not only are you losing, like I said, you lose, it makes you look bad. People were going to talk about you anyway, right? But you lose, and it's under media scrutiny. See, when you look at the Browns and their whole season, the only scrutiny they get is a quarterback problem. That's it. And that always been year in and year out. I remember back when they had got RG3. That was like, oh, is he really gonna be good? Then other quarterbacks and Johnny Manziel, like, as far as the scrutiny the Dolphins go, it's the quarterback problem. But then when they got Deshaun Watson, it was the whole, why would y'all sign him for that money? Especially when he was dealing with those sexual assault allegations, allegedly. You know what I mean? That's the only problem they had. Other than that, if the Cleveland Browns lose, whoop-de-doo, like Young Thug say. If they lose, okay, cool. It's typical. When the Dolphins lose, and then when Tua Tagovailoa came in, it was like, dang, but we still got hopes for them. But when the team loses, it's either one or two things gonna happen. The fans are gonna be really, really upset and mad, and the media gonna call them out and be like, damn, y'all trash. And then that's gonna be that. I never seen a team have not only a losing season, the fans is disappointed, but the media scrutiny. The media isn't just saying they having a rough year. The media is going based off the players and how they acting. Tyreek Hill with his baggage, the whole baby mama drama, the whole divorce situation. But hey, that's what's off the field. They not finna dive into that too much. But then, allegedly, he catch a domestic violence situation, which that doesn't make it any better. But like I said, it's off the field. But then, whatchamacallit? The situation, Tyreek Hill, Tua Tagovailoa, he's calling out his own teammates. And then you got people like Cam Newton and other people. It's like, bro, why don't you just going back to shutting up? Now you got that scrutiny. Then you got other people now they chiming in. How dare Tua says that? Why would Tua throw his teammates under the bus? And then Tua says another stupid idiotic comment. Oh, it's easy for a clicker to say something. Just to be on TV and clicker to say something, but they're not on the field. That may be true and all, but bro, criticism is criticism. You could have tried to say that any other way. If you was winning games, if they probably wouldn't have took it out of spite. But when you losing and people criticizing your actual playing style and why you losing, if Tua wasn't the problem for why the Dolphins was losing, they wouldn't even be on Tua. They just would have been on the other elements of the team. Maybe it's the O-line, maybe it's the defense, yada, yada, yada. Bro, Tua, when you are a horrible quarterback or a bad quarterback, and you're one of the reasons why they're losing, throwing pick after pick after pick, and they call you out for you to say, oh, it's easy for a clicker, it's easy for somebody on TV or a commentator to just click plays and think, oh, this is what I should do and this is what they should do. It's easy for them because they're not on the field. But then for that to pertain to Cam Newton, who's an MVP, #1 draft pick, I think a college football champion, if I'm not mistaken, Super Bowl appearance, maybe a Hall of Famer. He should be a Hall of Famer. You got the nerve to say, to make Cam Newton as if he's just a clicker, as if he's just a commentator and never stepped on a football field. Have you lost your mind, young man? So now the words that you're saying, and you after these lost games, you can't just say, we gotta get better. Get to the drawing board. Nah, that's you don't want to keep it to that minimum. You don't want to keep it in house. You just gotta say everything. You just gotta say how you feel all the time, as if it's not you, as if you're not a part of the equation. So that's what causes. Not only is y'all losing, not only do y'all look like a bad organization because of high expectations that you were supposed to meet. Tua and the team itself is not just you, and the things that you saying in the media which is feeding the media to retaliate and be like, how dare you say that when you're the one main reason causing the team to lose. One of the main reasons when the organization is losing and y'all had these expectations. Like I said, if Tua and other players didn't have they off the field problems besides Tyreek Hill, you know what I mean? And he's injured, so that didn't make it any better. But with the off the field situations with his, you know, old lady, which that's like a dig honey slang, like, you know, with his wife or whatever, with his ex-wife, and then the whole baby mama and things like that, on a domestic situation allegedly, this team wouldn't be under much scrutiny as it is right now. The most it'd be is the fans would be mad, and the commentators would be, what is it gonna take for this team to turn things around? But no, Tua just had to say certain things that he don't need to be saying, throwing his teammates under the bus. And then it doesn't make it better that you losing. So, man, and going back to the point with me comparing it to the Cleveland Browns. See, the Cleveland Browns, and this is my opinion side now, the Miami Dolphins are the new Cleveland Browns, right? And here's why I say this. The Dolphins haven't made it near or close to the Super Bowl since I don't know when. Probably before I was born. Probably that too. The last time I seen the Dolphins, the Dolphins hasn't been close to the Super Bowl since I don't know when. The last time I seen the Dolphins in the playoffs, when I seen them, when I watched it myself, I remember that was like, what, 2016, 2017 against the Steelers, and that they lost against that game, and their excuse was, or the fans made their excuse, oh, it was cold up there, so they not used to playing in the cold like that. Cool. Then I forgot what season that was. Put it in the comment section. I think 22, 23. They go against the Chiefs. This one, Tyreek Hill just got to the Dolphins. They lost that game. But hey, high hopes, right? Hey, we got a new coach, right? Hey, we just got to get key pieces, right? Injuries, concussions, media scrutiny, off the field problems, and this is why the Dolphins are just not only a losing team but a losing organization. Because if you want to take Tua out the picture, Tyreek out the picture, the Dolphins been a losing franchise since nearly what? I don't want to say the early 2010s, but I would say the mid 2010s. Because they're the type of team, kind of like the Browns. They will make a playoff appearance once in a while, and then for the next 4 or 5 seasons, trash. They haven't been consistent. And I know y'all from Dade County gonna be in my comment section, oh, how dare you try to compare us to the Browns? Bro, it's just horrible. It's bad. Like, I can't even say, coming up as a jit, like the Dolphins have been having back-to-back winning seasons. Like, at least the Miami, they can count on the Hurricanes to do something now. But the Dolphins is horrible. And I don't think they should fire Mike McDaniel. That's another thing. I'm going to end this video by saying this. Mike McDaniel is not the problem. I don't think he is. Because even LaShawn McCoy made a good point. He said, even though LaShawn McCoy thinks that Mike McDaniel isn't the right guy either, which I don't know why they keep doing that. But even LaShawn McCoy in his podcast, one of his episodes, he said Mike McDaniel is literally writing up plays that's helping Tua. Like, if you look at the play, Mike McDaniel written up a play to help Tua find a wide open man. And that's facts. But hey man, these are my thoughts and opinions on Miami Dolphins becoming the worst organization in the NFL as of right now. It's your boy KJ, the host of the Broadcast Podcast, SL Sports Labels, give you the livest, latest news and information on sports and events. And I'll put it to you like this. If you got an opinion on what I say or just said, you can debate me about it. If you disagree on what I just say or just said, you can debate me about it. Hold on. If you don't like what I say or said, debate me about it! Speaking of debate me about it, put it in the comment section. Like, comment, subscribe. It's your boy KJ, and I'm out.